Hey everyone, I'm Sam from Bio Cosplay. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts NARUTOP99 Itachi Uchiha. The Naruto line has been consistently good. It's probably the best SH Figuarts line currently, so I'm looking forward to this one. It seems like it'll be a pretty good figure, and it should pose pretty well since all the other Naruto figures do. The only thing that's a bit of a question is the new soft goods Akatsuki robe. So hopefully that looks pretty good once we get it out of the box. Here's a look at the packaging. Very similar to the other NARUTOP99 packaging. I think it's fine. Not my favorite packaging, but I also don't keep the packages, so not a big deal for me. It says Itachi Uchiha NARUTOP99 edition on the front there. Then another NARUTOP99 down here. There's a bit of a window on the top to let some light in. And I think the red background has some nice contrast with the figure, so he shows up pretty well in there. Then on this side, we've got a picture of him with the soft goods on. Picture of the figure on this side. This picture just continues to wrap around on this side. Face on the bottom. And some shots of the figure on the back as well as the NARUTOP99 artwork. And there we can see Itachi. Here he is out of the package. I went ahead and put the robe on him, even though technically it's an accessory, since I think a lot of people will want to pose him with the robe on. It's a pretty important part of his character. I think the robe looks pretty good overall. It's maybe not the best soft goods I've ever seen, but it's not bad. The red clouds are printed on there well, and it has nice crisp white lines. I think these are probably like screen printed because it's not like a sticker over top of this that'll scratch off or anything like that. And those are all around the figure. There's a wire running down the front of it and then along the bottom here, so you can pose this a bit. So that will be nice. It's also up in the collar a bit. I do wish they put a wire in the sleeves as well. They're a bit poofy, as they should be. But at this scale, the sleeves don't really have enough weight to weigh them down and give them a nice drape, so they kind of just poof out like this. And maybe once we get posing him and they're worn in a little bit, they'll get some wrinkles and drape a little bit better. But right now they're a little bit lifeless. And I worry that when he's got the one arm out of it, that it'll hang kind of weird. So let's pull his one arm out. There's a little clasp here. It's red as well, so it should blend in pretty well. It's maybe a little bit more on the pinkish side, but I don't think it's going to be super noticeable, hopefully. Okay. I think he has it like this. Okay, yeah, so the sleeve kind of poofs out a little bit. And certainly the further up you pull it on the shoulder, the further out it's going to floop. So, might have to manipulate this a bit or tack this down or something to get a more accurate look. So I don't hate it, but I don't think it's perfect. I think it's pretty good for their first attempt. And maybe once this is worn in some, it'll look a little better, but I don't know. I don't think we can really count on that. This is probably how it's going to be. So I still like it. But aesthetically, it could be a smidge better with the drape of the sleeves. I think just if they put a wire running down the side here, it would be a bit better. But for the rest, let's take the cloak off. Well, first, I think the length on it's pretty good. And I think the proportions overall are pretty decent. Otherwise, here he is without that on. He's not super colorful. There's not a ton of contrast going on in here, but that's accurate. I think it looks pretty nice. I feel like he does maybe look a little bit thin without it on, but that might be accurate. I don't remember 100%. As I said in my other Naruto videos, I'm working my way through Naruto currently, and I just finished the Pain arc. But we'll take a bit of a closer look at the face and whatnot here. The headband looks very nice. It's nice and shiny, and has the line running through it, as well as the hidden leaf symbol, and those are painted very cleanly. The hair has just a tinge of blue to the black. I think that looks pretty good, and it's sculpted well. On the back, he has a little red hairband. At the neck, he has this necklace, and this is sculpted on and painted, but it's painted very cleanly, especially for those very small details. It's got the 3 little, I don't know, gems or metallic bits or whatever they are, and those are painted well. For the shirt, he has the kind of armored fishnet looking undershirt, and that's printed on there very well. Otherwise, for the upper torso, it's just this white belt, and the rest is just this kind of charcoal gray looking plastic that it's cast in. The face does look very nice. It looks like Itachi. He is not pleased with us, and that's fine. He has the 2 lines on the face. Those are very clean. They do a great job with the faces. This whole waist skirt section is soft and pliable, so hopefully this will get out of the way for the articulation. It's a bit like Gojo's, if you have any of the Jujutsu Kaisen figures. And then down at the legs, this same charcoal plastic. No other paint details there until we get down to the lower legs. I think these are cast in a white plastic probably. They don't look painted. And then some painted details on the feet and the toes. He does have the black toenails, or they might have a little bit of a bluish purple to them. And then the kind of pant leg thing wrapping under the foot. I don't know what you call this. So yeah, I think he looks good overall. Oh, and then on the hand and the fingernails, he has 1 ring that's painted. It's very shiny. That looks good. And then those same dark bluish purple fingernails. So aesthetically, I think he looks pretty good. I don't think he's the most exciting looking Naruto figure, but I do think he looks accurate. And overall, I like the robe. I think it's alright. I'll probably have him posed with it most of the time just because it adds more visual interest, and when I think of Itachi, I imagine him wearing this. Okay, on to articulation, and I'm fairly certain this will be good. I'm pretty confident most of the Naruto figures will have pretty good articulation at this point. So at the head, he does have the ponytail that is on a little ball peg. So we should be able to pose that pretty decently and get it out of the way. That can come up about that much, and then come down flat on the back. And then just a little bit of side-to-side movement and rotation. At the head, it has the double ball peg, and then another ball peg down at the lower neck. So with that, he can look up about this much. The bottom of the hair bumps into the back of the neck, so that's why he doesn't look up more. Still pretty decent for that hair. And then just on the head joint, the head can move down that much, but then with the neck, you can look down very well. And then there is side-to-side tilt, a whole bunch of tilt, and you can rotate that around however you would like. Also, I like how on the Naruto figures they continue the sculpt of the neck up a bit, so that when the figures are looking up, it gives it just a little bit more of a seamless look. And there's also swivel, of course. At the shoulders, these can move up this much. Good range there. This is a ball hinge, and then comes in, and then there's a ball peg in here. So there is a bit of a butterfly. You can bring the arm forward this much, and back this much for those running poses. This is like a floating cap that's soft, so you can adjust that some if need be. There is a bicep swivel underneath the sleeve, and double jointed elbows that get good range. Then at the wrists, there's another ball hinge, so you shouldn't have any issues there. At the torso, at this upper diaphragm joint, he can lean back this much and forward this much. And then with the waist joint, he'll lean back very far and forward very well as well. And there's also side-to-side tilt, a whole bunch of tilt, my goodness. And side-to-side rotation, most of that rotation is at the waist. Just a teeny bit at the upper diaphragm joint, since this is more oval shaped. Then at the hips, these will go out to the side, almost the full splits. It does splay the skirt piece out a smidge. You can kick forward very well. It does scunch up the skirt some, so I think if you leave him in a high kick pose like this for an extended period, it may start to distort this a smidge. And you can kick back a decent amount. It does run into the sculpted butt cheek there. There's a thigh swivel, and this is actually on a ball peg, so you can kind of get some minor adjustments there if need be. Double jointed knees, get pretty good range there. I guess you could say boot swivel, right where the white connects to the charcoal, and then a ball peg at the top of the ankle where it attaches to the leg. And then the foot will move back all the way forward, very far. And there is an ankle rocker and a toe hinge. Pretty decent toe hinge, relatively stiff, so it should get some use. I really like the way they do the ankles for the Naruto figures, how they have this ball peg at the top and then the swivel and hinge. I just think it works really well. So, good articulation as we expected. For faces, he'll come with the neutral face on him in the package, and then 4 additional faces. An angry face with the mouth slightly open, a face with one eye open, that might be for his genjutsu, face where he's looking to the side, and then a fire style face where he has the mouth a little bit open and the eyebrows furrowed a bit. All these faces look good. All the details are printed on there really well. Then for hands, fist hands will come on him on the package. A pair of open hands, and all of the right hands will have the ring on them, and all the nails will be painted. On this open hand, he does have a little bit of metallic paint on the pinky that shouldn't be there. A pair of closed hands. I think these might be the fire style hands. I could be wrong though. A pair of jutsu hands with the 2 fingers together. A pair of relaxed hands. And a pair of gripping hands. These are slightly different from each other. One has the thumb pointing out and one has the thumb pointing up. And these will go with the final accessory, which is a katana. This is from the NARUTOP99 artwork. So there's one katana that's being drawn, if the camera would focus, from the sheath, and then one that's out of the sheath, just that's the katana itself. These are both painted really nicely, a nice metallic paint. Then the hilt is slightly bluish, and so is the pommel. And there's some white like bandage wraps on this one for the grip. That's pretty clean. I think it's a separate piece. It looks like it might be glued together here. And then to hold these, we'll pop this one in this hand, and this one. There, he holds that well. I just didn't want to do it on camera and accidentally bend the sword or anything. Might look a little bit cooler with the robe on, but there it is without the robe. I think that's a cool accessory. Maybe not the most exciting weapon of the NARUTOP99 weapons, but still pretty cool. I think one of the ones I'm looking most forward to, that I assume they'll make at some point, is Sasuke's Chidori bow. And here he is with the katana and the robe on. I think it looks pretty cool. The red on the hilt matches the red on the robes pretty well, so that's nice. So I think a pretty decent spread of accessories. I kind of wish he came with some sort of crow accessory, though. I think that would have been really cool. For sizing comparisons, Itachi's standing at right at about 6 inches tall. Here he is next to some other SH Figuarts Naruto characters, the NARUTOP99 Minato, Sasuke, Kakashi, and the NARUTOP99 Naruto. I think he scales pretty well with all these. Here he is next to a couple other anime characters that have plastic bits that could have been soft goods. The amazing Yamaguchi Shigaraki, he's got the plastic cape, and the SH Figuarts Lance Crown from Mashal. Go check out that review if you haven't seen it. I think those soft goods are better than these options. For me, Shigaraki's cape ended up being pretty annoying. Don't love posing that. Lance's robes are fine. I think they're sculpted well, but if they went this route, you couldn't have this pose where he has the hand coming out of the front of the robe, or it would have been like the previous one that I don't have where you can't pose it with the robe on. Then for a couple domestic figures, here he is with the NECA Last Ronin Raphael and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. I wanted to see how the robe would look on Orochimaru, but I didn't want to take his big bow off. So we can sort of kind of ish see what it would look like. It's not going to close all the way. But I think if you remove the bow, it would fit on him pretty well. He's not going to have the headband, but I think that could be a cool option if you want to pose him like that, or if you get an extra one and have an extra robe. I think you just have to heat this up and pop out the ball hinges, but I'm not sure. I didn't want to force it and break it, but I wanted to give it an attempt and show you at least. Here it is on Sasuke. It looks a little bit big on him. It poofs out a little bit because of his skirt. And his purple robe does peek out just a smidge. It's alright though. He looks a little silly in it. He looks kind of like, Mom said it's my turn to wear the Akatsuki robe. But I think that works if you want him in that. Gets a little rumpled by his rope lump on the back here, but I think it'll be fine. And finally, here the robe is on Naruto. Not accurate to the anime at all, but could be fun if you want to have an Akatsuki Naruto. Overall, I like this figure. The Naruto line has been consistently good, and this one is a lot of fun as well. I think the only downsides for it for me are I wish it had some sort of crow accessory. That would have been cool. And the robe isn't perfect, but it's still pretty good. I think it's better than a plastic one. If there was a wire in the arm so that you could make it drape a little better when his arm's out of the one arm, I think that would have been great. But right now, it's just not perfect the way that you have his one arm posed out of it and the sleeve still kind of sticks out. Otherwise, I do like it. And I think if you're a fan of Itachi or Naruto in general, I would recommend this figure. I assume they'll be making a non-NARUTOP99 Itachi at some point, but I guess we can't say for certain. Also, they had said that they will be doing the robes slightly different for each character. I'm not sure if that's just a little clasp placement in the front or if they're tailored differently. But at the very least for Pain, they showed that the little clasp on the front will be higher up so you can splay it out at the bottom more. So it looks a little more accurate to the character. So I'm interested in seeing how that one compares. So let me know your thoughts on this figure or the new robe. And let me know if you'll be picking up this figure. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.